Okay, so I'm back. I'm not really sure where the last video stopped at because, like I said, this iPad, I don't know, it doesn't function right. I'm thinking because uh, I only have Wi-Fi up here. I didn't get the one from Verizon to, you know, so I don't have the same capabilities as other people, but I have such a hard time with uploading videos on this thing because it'll just cut them off. So the last video might have been cut off around when I was talking about some of the things that, we had to do, like as far as we have a home that we brought, we have to sell it or rent it, and we decided to rent it because it's not a a seller's market right now. So we decided to rent, and that's something that we have to do. Then we had to downsize because overseas the houses are a lot smaller in Europe and various places. They're just a lot smaller. And so, the military gives you a certain allotment of a stipend of money, for you to be able to live off base. And we decided to live on base, but we still I'm hoping that we will be able to quickly get a place on base, but we may have to actually live off base for a little while, and I'm hoping that that's not going to happen because it's like you trying to, unload you can't really get comfortable and make it a home until you know when you're going to be moving again, and I just don't want to keep moving my stuff like that. So we have some pretty big furniture. We had 2 living rooms worth of furniture and, of course, 2 dining room sets because we have one in the kitchen and then we have the formal dining room. Now, we used to have a house that we were renting in Virginia that had two living rooms, a formal and a den. And so we had brought a sectional for that purpose, for the den area where we would be sitting at the majority of the time. So when we moved here and we brought this house, we knew it was only going to be one main living area. So we kind of took our sectional, then we took one of our leather pieces that we brought from Germany. It's Italian leather 3-piece set, and we took the one with the footrest. And we put that in the living room. And we left the other 2 pieces in the garage wrapped up. So we were trying to figure out, okay, what we were going to do with that, but we decided we were just going to store it. We don't want to sell it because it's really good furniture. It's Italian leather, and you can always get it refilled to get it, fluffed back up. And that's like my husband's baby in a way. We brought it when we were first married, but, when we get another house, that'll be like his little man cave furniture, I guess. I don't know. But, me, I'll just dress it up to make it as feminine as possible because it's just black leather furniture, but it's really pretty. So we had to look at everything like, okay, the houses are smaller, the rooms are smaller. We have we have Turkish furniture made in Turkey. We brought from this girl when we moved to Texas. And it was too big and bulky for her, so we decided to buy it. And it's been the hardest thing to get rid of. But what I do like about it, it has 2 armoires on the end, so it's extra storage right here. You have a jewelry armoire. You had a TV armoire. You had the drawers with the mirror, and then you had a tall dresser. So we had like all this stuff now. We got rid of the one with the TV stand one because it was just too much furniture, and even our room in here, it would have been too much. So we have the tall dresser, the jewelry armoire, the 2 armoires. It's a king-size bed. It has armoires at the bottom. So it's a lot of storage in that thing, but we can't take all of that. And when we lived on base in Virginia, we weren't able to take a lot of that furniture and like our bedroom furniture, we had to store a lot of it because it just wouldn't fit. And also, if you have an upstairs, it won't go upstairs, because most upstairs are pretty steep unless you have just an open level where you could bring it over top. So we had to store a lot of our things, even for a bedroom. So now we're looking at, okay, do we have to store? We have a shrunk. Then the shrunk is those big, beautiful pieces that you buy from Germany, the big, long wall units that are glass and clear and you know, just has different sections everywhere, and it even has a TV area, or you could turn it, they have a shelf there, but you could just turn it into an area where you put pictures and things like that up, and memorabilia. So I have a lot of things that I've gotten from Germany when we were there 9 years ago. And I would like to keep my things. I don't consider my things cheap. So now the decision is, what are we taking with us? What are we going to possibly let the military store? Because if you let them store it, it's still a possibility that your stuff is going to be broken. And what things can we possibly either find a storage unit closer to our hometown in Texas, or maybe get family to store? So that's like all the decisions that I have right now with that. We also had a yard sale, and the yards, we did a garage sale, yard sale, because it's been raining pretty bad here, and people still came out this last Saturday for that garage sale, because you do have people that are avid. I mean, they love some garage and yard sales. Oh yes, they're going to come, rain or shine. So I made sure to put that in there, rain or shine. You know, we advertised it, we put signs out. I think we did okay, but I think in the area that we're in the country, because we're in the country, I think it's a little bit harder for people to want to drive all the way out here, or, you know, mainly it was people from around this area or from our church that came by to the garage sale. So we were able to sell our sectional. We still have a dining room table set. See, we have to minimize. We have to go down to one piece of furniture. You know, we have to sell our washer and dryer. You have to sell things that you know that you can't take. And the washer and dryer is not a new one, so I don't mind selling it. And then that way I can get a brand new one when we get another house. So we're keeping one living room worth of furniture and one dining room furniture, which we're taking that overseas, that table set that we're taking, but I don't plan on like keeping it like after we come from overseas. The only reason why we're taking it and keeping it is because it has 6 chairs, and since I've brought the one with 4 chairs, the dining room set we're selling, we've had another child, so you know, we want to make sure that everyone has a chair that they can sit in. So it's a lot of things that we had to sell. I had to go down on my clothes. My daughter had a lot of clothes. Now my sons, you know, my oldest one can go down to my baby, so I wasn't worried about their clothes as much. I told them to clean out anything they didn't want, any toys they didn't want, any clothes they couldn't fit, all of those things. So between me and my daughter, we had majority of the clothes to try to sell, and shoes. I have a lot of shoes. So I was trying to sell probably roughly about 25 pairs of shoes. And that still is leaving me with a lot of shoes left over. So I managed to sell a pretty good amount of my clothes and my shoes, and you know, mainly big pieces of furniture or little things that he had in the garage, or I mean, it was things that I forgot that we even had. Like, it was this exercise thing that I brought where you stand on it and you go up and down, and it, you know, it just works your legs. It was in the freaking attic. Didn't even know it. You know, I'm like, hold up. What else is up in the attic, you know? So we ended up selling that. We're trying to sell our treadmill, but I told him I kind of want to take it. But then again, you know, you have to use a converter box because they're on 220 outlets and we have 110 here. So you have to take that into consideration, that every little thing that you have to use converters for from the States. And you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to burn it out. You don't want to use too much electricity. So we are trying to sell our treadmill, but, you know, if not, then I'll just keep it because it's still pretty new. We don't use it that much because we work out in other ways. And I think it'll be something good for me to have, especially with it being so cold over in England. That way I can probably go in the garage or something and just work out and not have to necessarily leave the home and go to the gym. So those are all things that we're looking at. And I think I'm going to stop this video right now. So that was the last thing, was the yard sale that we've endured right now. And I will keep you updated, and I'll keep doing these videos, these vlogs, because I think that they may help someone. If you have any questions about anything that I've spoken of, or military life, or moving overseas, or any of those things, let me know. Okay, peace.